Well, it's not 2019, but Huawei has this phone named the Huawei Y9 2019. It's a refresh to their Y lineup. The Y9 2018 and the Y7 Pro was released back in April, and then there were Y7, Y6 and Y5. So the Y lineup offers more or less the same performance as the Huawei Nova series, but they are more cheaper. So with that said, the Y9 2019 is very similar to the Huawei Nova 3i. So it's me Anmol here, and in this video we'll take a brief look at the Huawei Y9 2019. When you look at this phone for the first time, it's very similar to the Nova 3i and even the Nova 3e. It has the nuts on the front, similar glass finish on the back, dual front and rear cameras. The only difference you'll find is the size. It's a huge device. It's even bigger than the Note 9. The Note 9 measures 6.37 inches tall and 3.01 inches wide, whereas the Y9 2019 is 6.39 inches tall and 3.04 inches wide. It's a pretty big device and it will get slightly difficult to use with a single hand if your hands are slightly small. Since we are talking about big, the big frame of the Y9 2019 also houses a massive 6.5 inches display with a screen resolution of 1080 by 2340. This gives the Y9 2019 a pixel density of 396 compared to the 3i's 409. But it has the same aspect ratio of 19.5:9. But I have to say that I enjoyed the bigger screen of the Y9 2019. Watching shows on Netflix and YouTube gets very exciting with the large screen. And those reduced bezels all around certainly helps to achieve more immersive content viewing. The LCD panel used on the Y9 2019 is a pretty good one. It's not exceptional, but the colors and the view angles are pretty good. There are no color shift issues and it gets plenty bright, and I did not have any issues on outdoors as well. Onto the specs, it's pretty good. We get the same Kirin 710 chipset as the Nova 3i, 4 gigs of RAM and 64 GB of internal storage. Since we have the same spec sheet as that of the Nova 3i, the performance is also quite similar. Opening apps, switching between multiple apps is pretty smooth. There are no lags as such, and most of the time I use Spotify, Instagram and Messenger at the same time, and I did not have any issues while doing so. Games run great too. PUBG runs good on medium settings, as well 9 Legends run smooth at high quality, and light games like Alto's Odyssey runs pretty smooth. But the thing that makes the biggest difference is its big screen. If you come from a phone with a slightly smaller display than the Y9 2019, then you will certainly feel that difference while gaming on the Huawei Y9 2019. Now onto the camera, you've got a 16 megapixel plus 2 megapixel dual camera setup on the rear and 13 megapixel plus 2 megapixel dual setup on the front as well. Rear camera's real life performance is quite satisfactory. Images on daylight turn out pretty good. There's right amount of detail and exposure. The dynamic range is also quite balanced, though sometimes the highlights and shadows are not handled well enough under harsh lighting conditions. As for the camera modes, you get standard photo mode, portrait mode, night mode, aperture mode, HDR, pro mode and others, plenty of modes. With the night mode, you can take some decent night shots with a long exposure. It takes 4 seconds of exposure time, so you should be careful to not shake the camera while you are taking picture on the night mode. The portrait mode does a good job of blurring out the background. Even though the edge detection is not perfect, the portrait images from the Y9 2019 turn out quite good and are satisfactory. The AI is hit and miss, as I've mentioned in previous reviews of the Nova 3i and 3e. Sometimes AI does a good job of boosting colors in the pictures, but sometimes it may degrade the pictures as well. But you can always turn the AI off after taking the picture, so it's best to click picture with the AI turned on. As for the videos, you can capture up to 1080p 60 fps videos, and there are no setup stabilize mentioned. So yes, the videos are not that great. Now talking about the front camera's real life performance, it's decent at best. The HDR Pro mode is not available on the Y9 2019, so the picture with bright background will appear washed out. Portrait selfies are average. It's not as good as the portrait pictures from the rear camera. Now I won't talk too much about the EMUI because it's same as the Nova 3i and other previous Nova phones. There's not much change, so watch our reviews of the Nova 3i and other Huawei phones if you're interested. Now on to one of the better features of the Huawei Y9 2019 is its big 4000 mAh battery. The battery on the Y9 2019 will last you a day easily, even on heavy uses, but if you use it wisely, you can even make it last almost 2 days on a single charge. So at last, the Huawei Y9 2019 is just another budget phone from Huawei that is very similar to the Nova 3i and performs likewise. The main difference being the display. You could go for this phone over the Huawei Nova 3i if you like a bigger display, but you'll have to take a slight hit in the camera department. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. Like the video if you liked it and subscribe to our channel for further contents like this. Until next time, namaste.